Video on demand, already ahead in many developed countries, is set to change the way that people consume content locally. Industry experts are saying this digital disruption will be the biggest change to hit the television sector since the introduction of pay TV in 1986. While it promises to be a win for consumers, it will also put pressure on revenue streams for traditional pay TV businesses, not to mention the corner video store. But in studio with me to discuss this trend is MyBroadband journalist Jan Vermeulen. Jan, thanks for joining me this afternoon. Let's maybe talk about what video demand is exactly.
Yeah, as the name suggests, it's video that you watch on demand. In other words, it doesn't come to you linearly like we are going out there right now.
Yeah.
But that said, you also do put up little video clips online. So that's the difference. So this is linear TV. When you go and watch this on CNBC's website later as a video clip, that's on demand.
Okay. What's interesting here is, do you not need internet access? So how much of video demand is dependent on a person being able to physically log on or being able to be connected to the internet?
Yeah. So video on demand, the biggest video on demand platform and the one that everybody sort of knows about is YouTube, right? And that requires internet access. But there are video on demand platforms that do not require internet access. DSTV's box office system, for example, and they've got other stuff that they've integrated into their packages like Catch Up. That is video that's available on demand, but it runs through your decoder and your satellite dish, not through the internet. But yeah, certainly the disruptor is the internet-based one.
So every time there's a disruptor, there's got to be some losers in this. Let's talk about who's the biggest loser here.
Yeah, so you alluded to it in the introduction. The poor video stores out there.
They still operate. They're still there.
Yeah, and probably mostly thanks to South Africa's poor internet penetration. And the pay TV guys, they're the ones being disrupted. So if they don't change with the times, then they're the ones who will lose at the end of the day. But they're also in the prime position to adapt. They're the ones raking in the dough right now. In the South African context, if you look overseas, like Netflix is certainly a dominant player there now.
Sure.
But in the South African context, certainly the pay TV guys are in a position to adapt.
I look at CNBC Africa being traditional media home, although we've got other platforms. Would it be in our best interest to now start adapting to this video on demand? Or do you think the fact that we've got other players coming in, should we just pack it up?
I think you should hire a strategist to give you those answers.
Well, there we go, Jan. No, we've got the first part right.
Yeah, but you're already starting to do that from what I've seen. You've already got some of your hotter segments going up into video clips, nice bite-sized chunks, nothing more than 3 minutes. Modern attention spans are very short, that kind of thing.
Right.
The only thing I can advise you to do is maybe steer away from Flash, go more towards something like HTML5 videos so that you can consume it on a mobile device.
HTML5 videos for somebody like me,
that's a standard that was developed so that video, as the online video became more and more prolific, it was a standard that was baked right into the standards we use for web stuff. And the great thing about adopting a standard like that is that it makes it very easy to have video on a mobile device. Flash is not supported on any mobile device anymore, really. And so that's what YouTube used to be based on. And as modern players have moved away from that, video has become more consumable on mobile platforms. And so certainly if you're still trying to push a video on demand play out there using Flash, you're on the wrong platform.
Jan, how competitive is this space?
Very. And you are not going up against... So the thing about pay TV is you have very regional competitive spaces. When you are entering the video on demand space, now you're competing against the likes of Amazon, Netflix, YouTube. You're competing against big guys, big kahunas that already have a global play. And so that's why I'd actually say it was quite exciting to see a local player like Showmax coming online and saying we're gonna make a go of this thing, so that we have some competency in South Africa when it comes to this sort of thing. So it's a great way for there to be some jobs in this industry in South Africa as well.
Just on a final one, I am concerned about the corner video store. I've asked you about this before. I happen to be one of the very few people still left that go to a video store and rent out a DVD. Is all hope gone here?
Unless they adapt, but they'll still be able to make a go of it for a while. But office rental space and franchising costs and all that stuff, it starts racking up when your client base is dwindling. So you've got to adapt to those kinds of conditions to survive for a little bit longer, but eventually we're all going to have internet connections. Eventually we're not going to want to drive the kilometer or even 500 meters up the road to rent a DVD. You're just going to want to sit on your couch and watch it.
Adapt, adapt, adapt. Jan, thank you so much. That was Jan Vermeulen, journalist at MyBroadband, telling us about video on demand.